You may think, well, why are we talking about everyone knows how to use these devices? Well, it's not quite as simple as people like to think that it is. And sometimes they're a little bit too simplistic in their approach to cage trapping. So as a professional, you want to make sure you understand your equipment and use it to the best possible use available, as well as understanding the weaknesses and advantages of these devices. So why don't we get started? This is a pet peeve of mine, so let me preach here for a moment. One of my things I have issues with is people call it a live trap. People will say, I use the live trap to catch a squirrel, and so I'll ask them, why are you using footholds to catch squirrels? And they'll look at me puzzled, and I'll say, well, the foothold's a live trap. And they'll kind of get it. Here's why. All kinds of traps are live traps. All a live trap means is you're capturing the animal alive. So certainly, this is a live trap. But so isn't a foothold, so isn't a collarum, so isn't a glue board. A glue board's a live trap. So isn't an encapsulated foot trap. The point is they're all live traps. Now why is this a big deal for me? Well, because when people hear the word live trap, they think this. So therefore, any trap that looks different than this must be a death trap. And as a professional, it's important for us not to be reinforcing the mythologies of our public. A lot of people think that footholds are inherently cruel. Well, I'm going to tell you a little bit today, this isn't as humane as you think it is. And we're going to talk a little bit about why that is. Let me give you an illustration. You may or may not know, probably do not know, that river otters were almost exterminated from many portions of the country. And so part of the reintroduction project, they would trap river otters to reintroduce them to their historic range. What a lot of people don't realize is how those river otters were captured. They were captured with footholds. A live trap called a foothold. Now you say, well, why didn't they use a cage? Well, they tried. Well, part of the problem was that the river otter would break their teeth on the cage. And river otter teeth don't grow back, and they need their teeth for capturing game. So by having a foothold, the river otter just had a sore foot for a while, which healed. But if he was in a cage and broke his tooth, that was permanent. So which one was the more humane option? But unfortunately, that information hasn't been disseminated around the country. I'll let you ask the question, why do you think that is? But the point is use the correct language. This is a cage trap. Why is it a cage? Because it has cage walls. A box trap is going to have solid walls where you can't see into it. Typically, you'd use those for capturing skunks, or if you're in an area where you're trying to capture an animal that you need to keep out of public view. Because as you know, whenever an animal's caged, everyone thinks it's thirsty and hungry, and they want to feed it. Now you have an attractive nuisance, and then you're having a lawsuit, and hopefully your insurance is good enough. Well, you know how it goes from there.